Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. So today's video is super exciting because you guys have been asking for this video for so long on how to budget for beginners. I know in the beginning when I was learning how to budget, I had no idea, and it was really difficult with me finding videos on YouTube on how to keep it simple because some people go in depth and it's just too much. So I'm gonna try my best to go in depth but actually keep it simple at the same time, if that makes any sense. If this video does help you, leave a like down below so I know to make more of these budgeting videos for beginners, and also leave a comment down below if you guys find these little tools helpful for you, so I kind of get an idea that it's, I don't know, working for you guys, because it works for me, but I do not know if it works for a lot of people. So anyways, everything that I mentioned, the little printouts and stuff, will be linked down below. There'll be different kinds that you guys could print out. The ones that I have linked down below are free, so you guys can start budgeting and also save money too while budgeting, because I know there are some little bill tracker lists that aren't free, which kind of sucks because it defeats the purpose of budgeting, because you got to pay for the budgeting tracker. So no, everything will be free down below. So anyways, let's get straight on into the video. So I did laminate mine. I'm hoping you guys can see it. I know I'm like next to a window, so it's probably glaring, but the first thing you want to do is you want to print out one of these little bill checklists, and I'll go up close for you guys to see. So this is what the bill checklist looks like right here. This is one of the newer ones that I had printed out. I know there's still a glare, but bear with me. So anyways, with these little bill checklists, you're going to write down your bill on all your bills on this side right here. You're going to write down the date that it's due right here, and then you're also going to write the amount in this row, and all these little colorful tabs you guys see up here, those are the months of the year that you're going to actually check off that you already paid that bill that time of the month. So now, with explaining the whole bill calendar, what you're going to want to do to start this, the first step is to write down all the bills, all the main bills that you have on a piece of paper or something like that, whether it is. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an example. So for me, when I first started this last year, I wrote down my rent, and I'm reading it off of here because I don't really remember them all. So I wrote down my rent on one piece of paper, and I also wrote down the day that it was due and how much was due. My school loan, vehicle, Spotify, phone, and gym. So those are my main bills. Now you guys probably have noticed that I did not add my credit card, gas, or lights, because those three bills always fluctuate when it comes to their price ranges. So like for instance, my heating bill was $60 last month, and this month it's $80 because we're in the winter, so I'm putting it on more. So I can't really put down when it's due or the amount on here. But what you can do, if you do pay it and you don't want to forget that you did, you can put it here. You can put gas, lights, a credit card, and you don't have to put a due date or an amount. You can just put a check mark to say that you did pay it that month, so you don't forget. As for me, when I am doing all of this, I do it all, like I sit down at least for a good 20 to 15 minutes each month, make sure I go through all of this. I pay all my bills the beginning of the month, and that's how I've been keeping on track with them. The next step, with all those written down on a separate piece of paper, what you're gonna want to do, you're gonna want to calculate your monthly budget. So what I did was I ended up adding all of my expenses, and again, I kept those three other expenses out. I added up my main expenses, which was the rent and all that stuff. So I added all of those up, and it did come out to around, I say, $900 and something with adding all that up. And I put that to the side, and then I actually calculated what I make in a month. I get paid 2 times a month only. I get paid bi-weekly, so that's 2 checks. I added those 2 checks together, deducted the bills, so I deducted the 9 something from the checks, and then I seen what I had, that number that I had left over. I wrote that number on a separate piece of paper. You can also put what I did last year to help me out, to make it a little bit more easier. You can add these all up, like your main bills, and you could put it in the corner. You could put, what I did was I put put 985 into check-in, because majority of these, they are all deducted automatically through my checking account. So I set it up that way, so certain bills I don't have to think of, and also certain bills give you a discount if you do an automatic transfer thing. So you could do that up there, transfer the money into check-in, and it'll be so much more easier, I swear, you guys. Now that you guys have your little thing all nice and set up, you paid all the bills on that month, and you have that money laying around, that money that's left over. Say it's a good $400 to $500, or even if it's $300 to $200, that money left over, put it in savings. I know it's gonna be like in your ear saying you have this amount in savings, spend it, spend it. Trust me, don't, because what you do need to think of is that you still have the gas and lights if you guys do live on your own. If you do not, then things happen. You could get a flat tire, you could, things happen, so you want to have that safety net in the bank, because you just never know when you're going to need it. So the best bet when it comes to budgeting for beginners is to take that leftover money and put it in an account that you are not going to remember. I remembered when I was starting this all out, when I was a shopaholic, that in order for me to start budgeting, I ended up having two banks, and I had another bank account that was all the way on the other side of town, and I ripped up the card. So I wasn't able to go shopping with it, and I wasn't able to do anything. If I wanted the money out of that bank, I would have to drive 30 to 40 minutes to go get that money in savings, and I did that on purpose so I wouldn't touch it. Eventually, when I finally learned how to budget and how to maintain a budget, I deleted that bank that was far away. I kept that money over here next to me, and now I just don't even think of it. I just keep it in there. And a little side note, while you're doing this, you're gonna want to give yourself at least $50 to $100 in cash, because you're gonna have to put gas in the car, you're gonna have to buy groceries, so you want to keep that $100 in the house or on you, and make it a goal, or make it a challenge each month that, all right, I only have $150 or $200 depending on the size of your family. As for me, I give myself a good $120. The reason why I added up a little bit more is that the new car that I have is a V6, so it does take more gas to fill up, but it actually lasts longer than my other car. My other car took less gas to fill up, so it cost me less, but I was actually spending more filling it up because it would go faster. So I ended up just adding that extra $20 to give to myself each month to add more gas in the car to fill it up. And it's like an eco-friendly car, so it lasts a lot longer. So even though I'm spending an extra $20, I'm technically still saving money, if that makes any sense, you guys. But anyways, what I'm saying is that keep cash on hand. If you guys are really good with money and you can either charge it to the credit card and you get cash back. I know a lot of people are against that, but I don't use cash, I use my credit card. And yes, I pay that credit card off before the interest kicks in. If you guys want a whole credit card video, let me know down below. I will go more in depth with that. I don't want to try to confuse people, especially beginners with credit cards, with this video. But let me know down below if that's something that you are interested in. And again, like I said, just try to make each month a challenge. Say you saved $100 this month and your goal was 120, so that $20 that you didn't get to save, bring it over to next month and make it 150 to save. When you make things a challenge or goals, your mind kind of programs yourself to say, all right, I want to beat this goal, we need to do this, I want to complete this challenge. I know when I lived with my mom, I had a challenge each month, even though I only had two bills. I only had my phone bill and my car insurance, so I got to pocket everything, which I was so grateful for. I did help my mom around the house. I did pay for like toilet paper, stuff like that, eventually when I smartened up. But what I did was I would try my best to save basically all my checks. So I would only pay my the gas to the car, which I kind of consider that a bill. I wasn't really going anywhere. So it was the gas to the car, it was my phone bill and my car insurance. And that was before the time I actually was thinking of paying my student loan. I was not smart enough still, but I was smart enough to keep saving, and then I did smart enough to pay the student loan eventually. But with those 3 bills, my goal each month was to save roughly around $1,000, and I ended up saving over $14,000 in a year with keeping up with that challenge in my head. I said, you know what, I saved $1,000 this month, let's see if I can save another $1,000 next month. And I seen my savings account growing, and I was like, wow, I'm at $6,000, let's see if I can make it to $8,500. And then I did $9,000, and I'm like, whoa, it keeps going, like let me just keep going with this. So always keep a goal or a challenge in mind when it comes to budgeting, because it helps out so much. It makes it fun, actually. I know with saving, it can't, like, some people don't think it's fun, and they rather spend their money on material things, and you know, those are just I would say short-term happiness, whether it's a new makeup palette, whether it's new shirts. Short-term happiness, you're happy for a day with it, and then the next day you're going to forget that you even bought it, or you're going to forget that feeling of happiness. So it's better to stick to the plan and stay ahead of the game when it comes to savings, because you also you want to think like, I have $500 saved, I worked this hard, I budgeted, I did the bill tracker plan, and $500 saved, and then you know, you see this shirt at the mall that's around $50, or a dress, and then you also notice the next morning that your tire is flat. So, you know, I know it's a little drastic, but you have to think like, is that dress or shirt going to get you to work or back to anywhere you need to go, or do you really need a tire more? So it's a better way to keep that in mind when it comes to budgeting. Again, you guys, I really hope this helps out. This looks a lot different than when I first started, when my first video, or when I first started budgeting. I like this one better. I actually printed out a couple more copies for myself for the next year, because this is like my favorite layout so far. I like that it's colorful, and I don't know, each month has its own color. And the other one I did like, but I find this one a little bit I don't know, more appealing to the eye. I will link my old one down below as well if I could find it. But let me know if these help you out. If you guys need any help with it, message me on Instagram. I'm always on there, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But again, these little trackers are a lifesaver when you are budgeting, especially for beginners, because it keeps you, like it says, it keeps you on track. And also I do laminate them because it keeps it nice and neat. So each month I just take it out of the laminator and check off what I paid and put it back in here, so it doesn't get all crinkly and stuff, because this page is supposed to last you a whole entire year. So yeah. So anyways, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did find it helpful, make sure to throw a thumbs up down below, and do not forget to subscribe. Also, if you want more budgeting videos, leave a comment. I really do love the fact that I'm able to give advice on savings when I had no idea of savings or how to save 6 years ago. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a little wow factor in my this time in my life, because I never thought that I'd be giving advice on how to save money from the girl that used to spend all her money. So yeah, look at the irony of that, right? But anyways, you guys, I will catch you in the next video. Bye.